बोलो अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Babaful Sunday session of the Avatar Meher Baba Bombay Center. Uh, we will begin today's session, of course, with beloved Baba's prayers. May I request you all to please mute your mics and keep your minds and hearts totally focused on the beloved. May I request Janice to please recite the prayers. The prayer slides will come up on the screen. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। हे परवरदिगार, सबके राखनहार और सबकी रक्षा करने वाले, तुम्हारा कोई आदि नहीं है और ना तुम्हारा कोई अंत है। तुम अद्वैत हो, तुम तुलना से परे हो और तुम्हारा पार कोई नहीं पा सकता है। तुम्हारा कोई रंग और कोई रूप नहीं है। तुम अविर्भाव से रहित हो और तुम गुणातीत हो। तुम अपार हो और अगाध हो, कल्पना और धारणा से परे हो, शाश्वत और अनश्वर हो। तुम अखंडनीय हो और दिव्य नेत्रों के सिवाय और किसी भी प्रकार से तुम्हें कोई नहीं देख सकता है। तुम्हारा अस्तित्व सदैव था, तुम सदैव रहते हो और तुम सदैव रहोगे। तुम सर्वत्र हो, तुम हर वस्तु में हो और तुम हर जगह से परे तथा हर वस्तु से परे भी हो। तुम आकाश में हो और पाताल में हो, तुम व्यक्त हो और अव्यक्त हो। तुम सब लोकों पर हो और समस्त लोकों से परे हो। तुम तीनों भुवनों में हो और तीनों भुवनों से परे भी हो। तुम अगोचर हो और स्वतंत्र हो। तुम सृष्टि के रचने वाले हो, स्वामियों के स्वामी हो, समस्त मनों और हृदयों के ज्ञाता हो। तुम सर्वशक्तिमान हो और सर्वव्यापी हो। तुम अनंत ज्ञान हो, अनंत शक्ति हो और अनंत आनंद हो। तुम ज्ञान के महासागर हो, सर्वज्ञ हो, अनंत ज्ञान रखने वाले हो। तुम भूत, वर्तमान और भविष्य के ज्ञाता हो और तुम स्वयं ज्ञान हो। तुम पूर्ण दयामय हो और सदैव हितकारी हो। तुम आत्माओं की आत्मा हो और अनंत गुणों से संपन्न एक परमात्मा हो। तुम सत्य, ज्ञान और परमानंद की त्रिमूर्ति हो। तुम सत्य के मूल हो, प्रेम के महासागर हो। तुम सनातन सत्ता हो, ऊंचों में सबसे ऊंचे हो। तुम प्रभु और परमेश्वर हो। तुम परब्रह्म हो और परात्पर ब्रह्म भी हो। तुम परब्रह्म परमात्मा हो, अल्लाह हो, इलाही हो, यजदान हो, अहुरमज़्द हो और प्रियतम ईश्वर हो। तुम्हारा नाम ईज़ अर्थात एकमात्र पूज्य है। हे असीम दया के निधि प्रभुराज, हम अपने सब पापों के लिए पश्चाताप करते हैं। हर एक विचार के लिए जो असत्य, अनुचित या गंदा था, हर एक बोले हुए शब्द के लिए जिसे बोलना हमें उचित न था, और हर एक कर्म के लिए जिसे करना हमें उचित न था। स्वार्थ से प्रेरित हर एक कर्म, शब्द तथा विचार के लिए तथा द्वेष प्रेरित हर एक कर्म, शब्द और विचार के लिए हम पश्चाताप करते हैं। विशेषकर हर एक कामुक विचार तथा क्रिया के लिए, ऐसे हर एक वचन के लिए जिसको हमने पूरा नहीं किया, सब असत्य वचनों के लिए और सभी निंदा, पाखंड, दम या लोगों के पीछे उनके दोष बताने के लिए हम अनुताप करते हैं। और खासकर दूसरों का नाश करने वाले हर एक कर्म के लिए, दूसरों को दुख देने वाले हर एक शब्द तथा कर्म के लिए तथा दूसरों पर दुख देने की इच्छा करने के लिए हम अनुताप करते हैं। हे प्रभुराज, आप हम पर असीम दया करके हमारे किए हुए पापों को क्षमा कीजिए और वैसे ही आपकी मर्जी के अनुसार विचार करने में, बोलने में तथा कार्य करने में जो हमारी असमर्थता सदा रहती आई है, उसको भी क्षमा कीजिए। यही हमारी आपसे प्रार्थना है। प्रियतम परमात्मा, हमारी ऐसी सहायता कर कि हम तुझसे अधिक का अधिक प्रेम करें, और अधिक और अधिक, और फिर भी उससे भी अधिक प्रेम करें, जब तक कि हम तुझ में मिलकर एक हो जाने के पात्र बन जाए। और तू हम सबकी ऐसी सहायता कर कि हम अंत अंत तक प्रियतम बाबा का दामन दृढ़ता से पकड़े रहें। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
Thank you, Janice. And we will, before we begin today's program, I just want to inform everybody that the calendars for the year 2021, the Baba calendars of the year 2021, we will be receiving those tomorrow at the center. Of course, the center is still not open. The Board of Trustees have taken the decision to review the situation and probably meet once again toward the middle of December before we decide to open the center. So tomorrow we will be receiving the calendars for the year 2021. We will let you know the modus operandi, or we will let you know how you can place your orders and we can dispatch those to your residences or whatever. So we will let you know during the course of the week the process for the distribution of the calendars. Till then, may I please request everybody to bear with us. This is a slightly extraordinary situation. In any case, today is a very interesting day, or this Sunday, this month of December has always been a very interesting month. 2nd of December 1956 was the day when beloved Baba and a few of his Mandali members underwent the second automobile accident that happened at Urtara, which is about 11 to 12 miles away from Satara. There is a there's a long there's a long background to this entire accident. There's a sequence of events that happened way before this accident actually occurred, and of course there is a sequence of events that happened after the accident had occurred. As you may all know, Baba's first automobile accident had happened at Prague at Oklahoma in the US when Baba had gone visiting the US in 1952, and he was traveling from the east coast to the west coast, from Myrtle Beach to California. In this second accident, Iraj Jasawala was driving the car. In the first accident, it was of course Elizabeth Patterson, and along with Baba in the vehicle were Vishnu Master, Pendu Kaka, and Dr. Neelu. When the accident took place, Dr. Neelu died. Iraj had very severe internal injuries. Pendu was very, very severely injured. But Vishnu perhaps was the only one who escaped very severe injuries. And of course, Baba, most importantly, was very, very severely injured. And why did this accident take place? ये accident क्यों हुआ? इसके पीछे कारण क्या है? बाबा ने इसके संबंध में क्या बताया था? कहा जाता है कि इस एक्सीडेंट की तैयारी, बाबा ने कहा, ये इस एक्सीडेंट की तैयारी जब वो मोहम्मद पैगंबर के just about a year prior to this accident taking place at Satara, very close to the accident spot, Baba had actually played a cricket match with his Mandali members. So all these beautiful sequence of events are there in this movie called The Act of God. Why is this movie called The Act of God? It is very simple, because when Erach, who was the driver, was charge sheeted by the local police for negligent driving, and they had to appear in the court at Satara court में उनको जाना पड़ता था वहां पर. और इस पूरी घटना से एरज भाई के ऊपर बहुत बड़ा असर हुआ था. उन्होंने ड्राइविंग बाबा की बात में छोड़ दी थी. बाबा लगातार उनसे कहा करते थे कि तुम्हारी गलती नहीं है। फिर भी एरच ने इस बात को बहुत दिल से ले लिया था, और केस जब भी उनके सामने चल रहा था सतारा के कोर्ट में, तो किसी को भी कोई एविडेंस, पुलिस और पब्लिक प्रोसिक्यूटर वहां पर जुटा नहीं पाई, और अल्टीमेटली द जज discharged this case saying there doesn't be any other reason for this accident. It seems to be a God. And that's this. This movie is into two parts. It's a beautiful movie. Today we will see what happened prior to the accident, the sequence of events, and then next Sunday we will continue with the remaining part. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Rakesh, please, the movie.
Hello. Hello. Can
Baba expressed a wish that he had to be at a place in North India. We were in the south of India, in Satara, and from there we had to go to the north of the country. And he wanted to be there on a certain day. It was a journey of about 1,000 miles or so. And he told me to keep the car ready and that he would set out on a particular day and we'd go there. So I drove him, and that driving was day and night through rugged roads and through good roads, through cities, towns, villages. And there, after a journey of 36 hours, he tells me to stop the car on the roadside. And then he tells me to get the map of India, road map, and he spreads it on the road, and he sits there on the road and asks me, where are we here? So I point out that we are close to this big city. And he just nodded his head and said, is it possible for you to take me back to Satara in 24 hours time? I said, Baba, it has taken 36 hours for us. It will be a very fast driving then. We don't know, I'll try, but it's reckless driving then. He said, no, day and night will go. I said, yeah, we are day and night traveling. He said, try, let's go back. Come on, turn the car and let's go back home. Well, he drove all that distance, and then all of a sudden he stops the car and he says, drive me back home. So naturally, I just turned the car on the road and we are heading towards Satara itself. I'm driving the car at breakneck speed. I'm going faster, 90 miles an hour, shooting, you see. And just goes, and he says, faster still, faster still, faster still, and all that. At last, it's past midnight, and I don't see anything now. Just I see a tunnel, and we are shooting through a tunnel like a rocket, you see. And that's my experience that is there. It's all right, doesn't matter. I'm just, and Baba, the compassionate one, keeps company by keeping those three others who were with us occupied with conversations. I don't doze or something like that, because already it's now 48 hours of driving, you see. So what is there? So I'm just going with full speed, and sure enough, we did reach Satara within 24 hours of that the appointed time. I made it, and Baba, of course, as usual, well done, he says, well done, we are on time. What that meant, I don't know. And then he gave me a day's rest to sleep and come back the next day from the Mandali quarters. We are now all assembled in another cottage that is there, which was specially rented for his seclusion work. Ladies stayed at a different cottage, men stayed at a different cottage, and this was his office cottage, special. So we are there, I still remember there, Baba is seated and all that. And Baba, in front of the other Mandali, is praising me, saying, what speed, see how he drove, see how it is. And whenever he praises, remember one thing, that we have to be very alert about that, because something terrible is going to come in our way, which you will have to execute, you see. Immediately I piped in and I said, yeah, we did reach, there's no doubt about it, we reached in time, I was myself surprised and all that. I folded my hands and I said, Baba, now release me of this driving. It is suicidal. You are with me and I have to drive you. And this is not the way to be driven like that, especially when you are with me. I did tell him that. And he says, you're mad? What's there? Then I described to him, Baba, I never saw the road at all. I just saw that I was driving in a tunnel and we were just rocketing through it. There was no such thing as driving or anything of the sort. I am there, why are you feeling like that and all that? And he tried to pacify me. But I was serious about it. I was serious about it because I knew that there was something within me, something was telling me that this sort of recklessness will not do again. He says, forget about it, just keep the car ready and it's all right, fine, the car is fine, everything is fine, what is going to happen? No, but Baba, now I'm so tired of this sort of driving, sometimes I get, my mind is such that, well, I just want to steer the car and just get myself dashed against the tree and just, that's the end of it all. You're mad. So such was my petition to him to release me from the driving.
On May 24, 1952, while traveling across the American continent from South Carolina to California, the 1952 Nash carrying Avatar Meher Baba was involved in a serious car accident in Oklahoma. Meher Baba injured the entire left side of his body, and his female disciples traveling with him suffered serious injuries. On December 2nd, 1956, while traveling from Pune to Satatra on the Indian continent, the 1952 Chevrolet carrying Avatar Meher Baba was involved in a serious car accident near Satatra. Meher Baba injured the entire right side of his body, and his male disciples traveling with him also suffered serious injuries and death. This is the story of the second accident, which affected not only Meher Baba and those traveling with him, but all those close to him and the entire universe. The story of the events leading up to the incident of the accident began 18 months prior, when Meher Baba arranged a cricket match to be played by himself and 20 others that he called for the game. Merwan Jesawala, a close disciple of Meher Baba, participated in the game and tells his story of this cricket match and how it relates to the accident which occurred 18 months later.
It was the year 1955, and Baba was at Satara at that time, and he was very strict about not seeing anyone except the close mandli that were with him in Satara, or any of those who would be called by him for some work. And most of the time he would be spending uh, making hectic must tours all over the country, especially close by towns of Satara like Sangli, Kolhapur, Miraj, and all these places, and contacting musts day and night. And it was mid-June or something, yes. And Baba let it be known that he wanted a cricket match to be played nearby. So Baba asked Pendu and the other mandli to look out for a good place where a match could be played. He wanted outside lovers of his also to participate. So then there was one site chosen by Pendu in a nearby town called Urtara. It was about 13 miles on the Satara-Pune highway. So Pendu thought Baba would like this, and Baba was taken to the place one day, and immediately he said, yes, this is a very good spot. Now uh, get the cricket pitch ready. So Pendu was getting it ready. He wanted the match to be played on a certain date. I think it was about middle of June or something, 17th or 18th, I forget the exact date. So we arrived there early in the morning, might be 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, quite early. And then we drove into this government rest house, which was adjoining the highway. And all the cars drove in, and then we assembled at the place where the match was to be held. And all of us gathered around Baba, and then Baba uh, gets us together and says, look, I've called you all here to play this cricket match. Now, I have some very important spiritual work to be accomplished playing this match. So I want you all to be extremely serious about participating in this game. You are not to fool around here as if it's a picnic or something. So try to win, each side must try to win the game. And I want you all to play your very best. And I want sincere effort from you all. So we realized what it was, and we said, yes, Baba. And then there were about 20 of us gathered there. So he made the division of 10 players on each side. And in cricket, you need 11 players. So Baba says, as we are short of 2, I'll be the 11th player playing on both sides. So, and he selected the two captains of the two sides. So Sarosh was one captain and Nariman was selected as the other captain. And I remember I myself and I remember Jangu, we were on Sarosh's side. The, and the rest I can't recollect who were on which side. But that's how the teams Baba selected to play in each side. And then he asked the captains to toss a coin to decide who wants to bat first. That's the usual practice in a cricket match. So one of the captains tossed up the coin, and I think Sarosh called and Nariman flipped the coin or something. And Sarosh called right. So he said, "We'll bat Baba first. We'll bat first." Baba says, "So be it." So we were, we started batting, and the match commenced. And I think Baba was the wicket keeper for the teams, and so on. So I'm just giving you the idea of how much we were into the game, and sort of shouting and making noises, and there was a lot of excitement around, and we were going on with the game and piling up runs. We were generally the younger side, so we piled on quite a big number of runs. And then when we were all out, it was Baba declared half time. And then thereafter, a few refreshments and a rest, Baba led us back on the field, and the next team started to bat, Nariman's side. So we were younger players, and I think there were many elderly on their side. So they started to get out cheaply. And at one time it appeared that we would beat them hollow. Just then Baba said, "Now I'll be batting on their side." So Baba started to bat, and after a few overs or something, the piles really began to hurt him a lot. Running, because you had to make the runs between those wickets and had to run fast. So he called for a runner. He asked our captain permission to have a runner, as is the etiquette in cricket. So a runner was given, and Baba was hitting away, and he started to belt the bowling like all over the field. So however much we tried to block his shots, we couldn't succeed. And he was scoring fast and quick, and by the time we realized what was happening, the score became even. Just then Baba says, "Enough." We called it a day for the match. And Baba said he was very happy with the game, the way it was played, and he was most satisfied that his work was accomplished. What that meant to us then we didn't know. And then later on, when the accident took place in December of that year, December 2nd, and Nariman and myself were driving to Satara with an ambulance to supposedly bring Airach and Pendu back to Pune for better treatment. We stopped at the place where the accident took place, and looking up, we saw it was exactly opposite where we had played the cricket match. So it was then we realized what Baba was telling us, that he had some very important work to do there in that match. And I suppose he was preparing the site for this incident to occur. Yeah. So that's the time we realized the significance of the cricket match. Yeah.
1 year later, in June of 1956, Baba was attending to correspondence when Baba suddenly asked Erich to take down a note. That note later became Life Circular 29.
This was in 1956, sometime in June 1956, that Baba had called me to Mehrazad for a month or so. And Baba had come from Satara. He was still in seclusion, but he decided to come and stay here for a few days rest and recuperation before his intended trip to the West in 1956. Baba used to sit in this room, which is room number 4 now, and he would see visitors here, or he would be with the Mandli in this room, which is slightly bigger than the adjoining room here. In 1956, there was no Mandli hall, and Baba would meet with people from outside in this room, or when he would be sitting with the Mandli during the day, he would come and sit here. And it was during one of those occasions that we were seated around Baba, a few of us, and Erich was, I think, reading some correspondence or something, and just then Baba said to Erich, go and bring pencil and paper. So Erich went to his room and got pencil and paper, and he says, take down what I give you now. And then Baba gave out this message that Erich took down, and it formed Life Circular number 29, dated 5th July 1956. And the title to it was A Message from Avatar Mehr Baba in His Seclusion. As declared in the past, I am free from promises and am not bound by time and space. Though all happenings are in the realm of illusion, a great so-called tragedy is facing me and my lovers. My long-expected humiliation is near at hand. This may happen tomorrow or any day of this year, or it may happen next year. The love, courage, and faith of my lovers will be put to severe test, not by me, but by divine law. Those who hold fast to me at the zenith of this crisis will transcend illusion and abide in reality. I want my lovers to rest assured that my humiliation and tragedy, though necessary, are but passing phases which are bound to have a glorious end, as is destined. My love to all. And so that's how this life circular was sent out. And I was witness to Baba dictating this circular. Yeah. And it brings out how Baba has pre-planned all the activities that were taking place, and that are due to the infinite love that he bears for his creation, that he takes upon himself this suffering that was to come to him very soon. Yeah.
returned to America and then Australia to visit his Western lovers there. Returning to the Myrtle Beach Center for the first time after his 1952 accident in Oklahoma, Baba gracefully walked the grounds of the center he established in 1948. Baba effortlessly flowed when he walked. He walked like a man without a worry or a care, and yet was still completely present in this world. After returning to India, Baba continued his seclusion and masked work in Satara, where Baba had been staying in the Grafton bungalow on and off since 1954. On November 29th, 1956, Baba told his Mandali that the last month of his year-long seclusion would hold greater suffering for himself and those close to him. Just 3 days later, on the pretext of going to watch a cricket match and to do some important work, Baba left Satara for Pune. Erich Jesawala describes the events of December 2nd, 1956.
So he said, summoned 2 or 3 of us and said, look, I want you all to accompany me on 2nd of December. We will do one thing. With one pebble, we will strike 2 birds. One is, we'll go and see that good match, cricket match that is there. And the second thing is that I have got some very important work to do. And the important work is such, the importance of it is such that we should keep fast the full day on 2nd of December while we are there. And when we come back also we should not. Not only fast means no food, but we should not even take water, not even a sip of water. You follow? So, yeah, it was not unusual. It was a usual thing. Sometimes you do that. But not even water was something unusual for that day. It sounded like that. What sort of an important work is that? What is that? And that time, that period was such that he was in seclusion and nobody should try to contact him and nobody should try to see him. It is 1956, December. Circular was sent out. So Baba said, we'll go out in the early morning, come back and just rest. And next morning we break the fast and that's fine. But do one thing, because I was the one who had to take charge of Baba's drinking water. There will be the can for drinking water from the women's side. They would just tie some little snacks for Baba and for us, who were with him. So he says, don't refuse that. Let nobody know that we'll be on fast. If the women were to know that, then they'll worry unnecessarily. Just keep whatever they give, offer, just take it and keep it in the dicky. And don't tell anybody. I said, all right. That's how we set out. We haven't set out yet, but that's how we are prepared. Now this is second morning, December 1956. The car is parked in the Mandali cottage there. Meherji has come there. So Baba had allowed Meherji to have a ride in car so that we can drop him in Pune, but he was told not to tell anybody that Baba is in Pune. And from there we had to pick up Vishnu, who was in Pune, instead of Meherji. Meherji would be dropped there and Vishnu will be taken, who was one of the Mandali. So now what happens is this, that naturally Meherji and Pendu Dr. Nilkant, three of them are there on the rear seat. Meherji, Vishnu, Pendu and Dr. Nilkant. Four of them are there. No, Vishnu is not there. I'm sorry. Meherji, Dr. Nilkant and Pendu are in the rear seat. Baba in the front seat and myself the driver. The team is like that. So I have to now get the car out of Mandli quarter and go to a place called Grafton Bungalow to collect Baba, and from there to go to Pune. So while I'm taking the car out of the gate, all of a sudden a Parsi priest, you see, passes by on the roadside. Meherji being of the priestly class, his ancestors were priests too. He is also a priest, you see, ordained priest. So Meherji says, oh my, a sight of a priest, you know what it means, Heraj? I said, what does it mean? Sure death in the house. I said, what are you talking nonsense about it? And I drove the car. But you know how the mind gets impressed? All of a sudden that gave me the thought that I hadn't carried a driving license with me, if something might happen. So I stopped the car on the road. I said, what happened? I said, well, I forgot my driving license. I must take it. So I ran inside and got the driving license. See how the premonitions are created. Well, then we go to Baba's place. I drive the car there. It's short distance. So Baba is ready. Baba comes and sits there. The women dole out Baba's water can and little packet of snacks and all that. And then we go out. In the meantime, Baba asks me, have you any money with you? I said, no. So Baba tells Ghave to get some money to be given to me in case of emergency, anything. So she goes to get money from the house. And Baba says, now start, let's go. I said, you told Ghave to get the money, we'll stop. No, you just go, come on, hurry. So poor Ghave has gone inside, has come out running, and she's shouting, stop, here, stop. And she's running behind a car. I said, Baba, Ghave is coming. I said, all right, stop. Baba had a good little laugh, making Ghave run, Yeah, I still remember that. And then I took the money and put it in my pocket and we set out. It was fine. Very pleasant drive. We dropped Meherji there. We went to the Gymkhana there to witness the match. Baba kept himself aloof, outside, not in the stand, but under a tree. And it was fine. We were having a good view of it. Baba enjoyed it. There is nothing to eat, nothing to drink, nothing to worry about anything, but just to view it. And we were having a good time. It's about 3 o'clock or, about 3:15 like that, 3 o'clock. And we are having a good view. All of a sudden, to our surprise, we see 4 people coming towards us. And they are close ones of Pune, Baba people. They saw the car, they spotted the car, and they thought that the car is here, Baba's car is here, means Baba must be here. They have been told not to try to or attempt to see Baba. And yet they did that. And they came closer and closer. So I spotted, and I said, Baba, these people are coming over here. So I said, tell them not to come here. Did they not receive a circular like that? So I went there and I stop them from coming. But they said, no, from a distance we'll just have Baba's darshan and then go away. We are not going to disturb him. But I said, you were told not even to attempt to see him. Why do you do that? They turn their backs and go away. But what has happened is this, that was a disturbance in Baba's work. And Baba says, now come on, let's go. Let's go back. Baba was displeased, disturbed. Let's go back.
Returning from the cricket match, Baba told Erich to drive to Baba's house in Pune to drop his brother Jal off. Baba visited with his family and then asked his nephews Rustam and Saurabh, who were 11 years old at the time, to go and get their marbles to play a game.
Well, the story goes that Rustam and I were 11 years old in this house, and on that day before Baba went to Satara, Baba visited his family here in this house, in Baba house. That's his house, yeah. Rustam and I will never forget the way Baba walked through the lane with the Mangli following him with an umbrella, Jal holding an umbrella, and he walking like a king, as if he was gliding in the air. Baba walked in the steps here, and we all were waiting there, my parents and everyone. Baba met everyone here, and we all were standing here, and Baba met us and embraced us and all that, and Baba stood here, and here itself is to go and get marbles, Baba said. So Baba said, bring the marbles, bag of marbles. So Rustam and I were very, very excited that Baba was going to play a game of marbles with us. So Baba walked and we ran after Baba with the bag of marbles. Baba walked through here and went into this room. That was Jal's room. And we followed Baba. Baba sat on the bed of that, it was Jal's bed. He sat on one end of the bed, and Rustam and I climbed up and sat on the other end of the bed. This is the door that was Jal's room. So Baba opened the door, went inside. There was a bed on this side, a wrought iron bed that was there. And Baba climbed up on the bed, sat on one side, and Rustam and I climbed up and sat on the second side. And this is the whole story took place on the marbles here. So I took out a bunch of marbles and put it in the center of the bed. Baba took a big striker, a marble. Rustam and I took each a striker in our fingers like that. And the game is that you strike the bunch, and whatever the marbles come out after you strike belongs to the person. Out of the bunch, when they fall out of the bunch. It belongs to the person who has struck. And the number of marbles each striker collects, maximum, is the winner. So I was very excited. I took my striker and I aimed and I was about to strike the bunch. Baba said, first, my turn. Well, you can't refuse Baba when he says he wants to do it first. So Baba took the striker, and Rustam and I watched Baba. With such intensity, he aimed at the bunch. And with such force, he struck at the bunch that not only the marbles came out of the bunch, but because they were glass marbles, some of them broke to pieces. And Rustam and I were stunned, our eyes really popping out of our sockets to see the kind of force that Baba used to strike at the marbles and break them to pieces. And then I said, Baba, now it's my turn. Baba said, the game is over. The game is over. He just got up from the bed, and Rustam and I just collected the rest of the marbles and ran after Baba. He came in the living room here, again spent some time with the family, and then he took his mandali, and you could see Baba walking out of the lane, and in his car, they all went to Satara.
So we sat in the car and we started going back. From Pune, we are going to Satara. On the way, the road is blocked. Why? Because Chow En Lai is expected to pay a visit from China. And Baba asked me, what's the matter? Ask them. The people there, what they have lined up, and police vans are there, and all that sort of thing is there. So I said, what's the matter? So no, he says he's going to. He's going for going towards the National Academy or something like that on that side. He's being taken there, driven there for a little visit. So Dr. Nilkant says to Baba, Baba, I wanted to see Chow En Lai. Now he's here. Can I stand in the line? Because the car had to be parked. Car cannot go further. Baba says, you want to see the face of that person? Why do you want to see the face of such person, you see? Why do you want to go? No, but I wanted to see him. So also Baba said, already go there, see. So then Baba and we all sit there. What had happened was that because of son Baba, instead of being in the front seat, he had kept himself in the rear seat and made Nilkant sit in the front seat. So now Nilkant got out of that. So Baba says, and we had taken a turn, so the son was not, and Baba always preferred the front seat. So Baba comes out and sits there in the front seat, and we are waiting for the police to give a whistle so that the traffic resumes. After long waiting of an hour or so, at last the traffic resumed, and Nilkant by that time came, and Baba turned to him and says, well, did you see his beautiful face? You wanted to see it so much? He says, yes, Baba, I saw him. Well, how did he look? Well, he looked like a Chinese. And that's all. And we were talking and joking and all that. Of all the people, you wanted to see a Chinese face and this and that and all that sort of thing, as in good humor. So I'm driving the car, and then we are going. We have left the place very early, instead of leaving it at 5:30 or when the match or the shadows cast on the pitch, 6 o'clock or 5:30, 5:30 I think it is. So we left at 3 o'clock. So Baba says, go slow, go slow. If we go early, then they might inquire what happened, did you not enjoy this? Go slow. So I was driving slowly, leisurely and all that. What happened was just 12 miles away from Satara, the accident took place. I don't know what happened. We were very slow. All that was being talked about at that time, that we had played a cricket match just opposite that, the spot of the accident, where Baba had played with us a cricket match in which he joined both the sides, and both the sides scored equally. There was no victor, no vanquished. That was a great day, you see. We spent the whole day there. So it was fresh in our mind, and they started saying that here is the spot, we stayed in this rest house here, and this is how it was. So we were and just then something happened. We don't know what. I don't know personally. Nobody there knows what happened. But the car was going this way, and when I recovered my senses, the car was facing Pune.
On December 2nd, Baba set out for Pune to watch a cricket match and do some important work. Baba and the Mandali watched the match at a distance from under the shade of a tree. Returning from the match, Baba stopped at his house in Pune to drop off his brother Jal. While there, he played a game of marbles with his nephews Rustam and Saurabh. Baba, going first, struck the glass marbles so hard that some of the marbles shattered into pieces. That was the end of the game, and Baba left to return to Satara. Erich drove. Baba sat in the front. Vishnu, Pendu and Nilu sat in the rear seat. Then 13 miles from Satara, at a place named Uttara, the car inexplicably went out of control. The car went off the road. Erich tried to get the car back under control and back on the road. As he did, the left side of the car, the passenger's side, the side that Baba was on, plowed through a culvert, and then the car went back into the ditch, into a stop, facing back toward Pune. Nilu died. Pendu was thrown from the car unconscious, and Erich went unconscious. Vishnu, the least injured, got out of the car and opened Baba's side door to check on Baba. As he did, he saw an effulgence of light that overwhelmed him. After a time, he could see only Baba's face, who looked as if he had won a tremendous victory. Erich then came to and waved down a passing car, helped Baba into it, and Baba and Vishnu went on to Grafton. Erich then flagged down a truck and placed Nilu and Pendu into it, and then himself, passing out again after the exertion. The truck took Erich, Pendu, and Nilu's body to Rosewood.
Something had happened, so I got myself conscious, you see, and my hand was on the steering wheel, and I am just looking. I got up, I was conscious, and I'm there. I said to Baba, what happened? And Baba simply showed his tongue. So it was bleeding. And then he said, it's paining very much. I said, is it an accident, Baba? Baba didn't say. So Vishnu, who was not hurt at all, so it was a glorious thing that I saw. It was, I said, but where is Nilu? Where is Pendu? I just recovered, you see, my consciousness, because my ribs were broken and they were thrown on either side. I'm not dilating upon that, but what happened was Dr. Nilkant died on the spot, and Baba, I stopped a car going, I made Baba walk all the distance, little knowing that he had busted his hip joint, but he still walked, you see, with support of my hand, got him there, made him sit in a car, and made Vishnu go with him, and then he was taken to Grafton. And then Baba told me that we should not go back to Pune, but to any hospital, but come back to the Rosewood. So I went there. So Baba tells me while sitting in the car, that somebody's car, says, don't go to Pune, come back to Satatra. So I said, yes, Baba. I covered up, locked the car there, parked as it was, collected all the belongings that were necessary to be taken back home, lifted Pendu up the truck and put him in the truck, lifted Nilu and put him in the truck there. I said, no, their heads will be rattling on the truck there, so it is better to take the back rear seat and put them under their necks and all that sort of thing. I did, and I told the truck man to drive us at a certain place where we were living in Satatra. And he says, I know the place, I'll take you. I don't know what happened afterwards, because I must have swooned again. I was not conscious. I find myself on bed in Satara at a place.
When the car carrying Baba and Vishnu arrived at the Grafton bungalow, Baba's sister Mani was the first to see Baba. Then Mani rushed to Rosewood to alert Dr. Donkin of Baba's accident. Bao Kalchuri, who was in Rosewood at the time of the accident, describes what took place next.
When the taxi was brought and Baba was brought there in the bungalow, then our Mani, I never saw her cycling. She came on cycling to Rosewood from Grafton. So she came on cycle, and on the road she got down and she says, Don. Don went there. And she told him that very slowly, that Baba met with an accident, please come immediately. And she left. And Don took the cycle and he went. Now I was just watching, and I said, what happened? What happened that I thought that there must be someone very serious in Grafton. Some ladies Mandi, someone must be very serious, and that's why Mani came. I forgot that Baba had asked me to take complete rest and don't move about. I forgot completely and went running. Cycle was there, but I did not take cycle. And went there. And what did I find? That Baba was full of blood, and he was glorious, as if he won some battle. So happy, cheerful, and that glory shining, shining. And Baba looked at me, means go back. And blood all over blood. And then, of course, because of his order, I returned. And then how could I take rest? And then the truck comes. Erach, Pendu, of course, they were lifted and they brought down Dr. Nilu. His body was brought and put on my bed. He was dead. I went to Baba's bungalow. Order was not to move about, not to get up from the bed. But I forgot everything and went to the civil surgeon. And I found him in the club. And I said, please just come immediately. Accidental cases are there. Without delay, he came and he examined first Dr. Nilu. He said he is no more. Then he examined Pindu. Pindu was also in coma. And Erach, and he said immediately bring them to hospital, immediately. And the civil surgeon came immediately, and then he just gave order to the doctors what they should do. And Baba was brought. His tongue was also cut. So tongue, in order to put suture, he was brought. And when I went to him, the compassionate father, that of course one cannot understand his compassion. He had all this hip joint broken, and just here and there are also whole body, all bruises here, there, tongue was cut. I went to him and he looked at me and he caresses me. And I was, that here Baba is suffering in this, and he caresses me, knowing fully well that I am just, I have lost my awareness. Caresses, and civil surgeon comes.
While Mani went to get Dr. Donkin, Dr. Goher, who was at Grafton, describes what she saw when the car brought Baba and Vishnu to Grafton.
Baba went to see this cricket match in Pune, and we were expecting him about 6 or 6:30 evening, and at that time we see a car drive in, and Baba and Vishnu, and we just couldn't believe it that Baba had another accident. And see, Baba, we didn't even know what was happening to Baba, whether he could stand or he could walk. And there was nobody there. Neelu had died. Erich wasn't available. Pendu was in the hospital. They were all taken to the civil hospital, state hospital. Only Vishnu came and he was in a shocked state. He didn't know what. And money ran. See, Vishnu said that something has happened to Baba. So we all women brought a chair near the car and helped Baba sit in the chair and carried the chair to the bedroom. Later we discovered that he had broken his hip joint. Baba had his foot up, and see, you call it the dashboard, where in the front seat he was sitting next to Erich, and he had his knee up like this, and his foot was resting on the seat. So that jerk, against the dashboard, it pushed his whole femur backwards. So the upper part of the asset of the socket, you see, was broken. And we were not sure which part is really broken, whether the head is broken or whether it's cracked or any circulation. So Don was very concerned about that. Anyway, when we took Baba to his bedroom and made him rest, and in the meantime, Mani ran to the Mandli's bungalow, told Don. Don came, and he went to the hospital, called the civil surgeon, and they wanted to take an X-ray of Baba, so we took him to the civil hospital. I accompanied Baba because Don had to do other things. And Baba, this accident in 56, the whole of Baba's right side was injured. In the 52, his left arm and left leg. And the 56 one, the whole of his right side, right from the face down. See, he also bit his tongue, and his tongue was cut, a triangular in front tip of the tongue. The gums were cut across. There were wounds on his eyes, and just under, he just missed cutting into the eyeball. On the chin. It was a painful sight to see Baba like this. And Baba stayed very calm and quiet throughout. And then we said, Baba, we'll have to take you to the hospital. It was a horrible hospital. But anyway, Don said this is the only place. So an ambulance came and we carried Baba to the hospital. And they put on a plaster cast right from the lower part of the abdomen right up to the toe. And it was a very most uncomfortable. So, and then see the tongue part which was broken, cut, it had to be sutured. So we took Baba to the operation theatre, and the civil surgeon wanted to stitch it up, and Don wasn't anywhere around. I was wondering, where is Don? What is happening to him? I was all alone with Baba. There was no one else. No other Mandli was there, and Don was busy trying to read Baba's x-rays to find out what exactly was the matter, what part of the bone was broken. So I stood by Baba's side, and no anesthesia was given. But Baba held my hand, and he said, hold my hand, and he said, see that I don't produce a sound. If I produce a sound, you make me aware of it by holding my hand tighter. So I was there by his side holding his hand, and nothing, no sound was produced. And the suturing was done. At several places suturing was done.
Then what had happened was the doctor was attending, and a word comes from Baba. In spite of all that, look at his compassion, his care and concern. I'm just telling you, he sends a word from the place. Of course, Baba was taken there a little bit earlier, about an hour earlier, so he must have been taken care of by the doctors. Dr. Donkin was there and Dr. Gaver was there. So he sends a word to tell me He says, you remember the fast that we are having, but if now the fast can be broken. Yeah, because if the doctors give you medicine, you can take with water. You can take water. And I had completely forgotten about the fast and completely forgotten about everything, you know. I had recovered my consciousness and I said yes. So I told, but Pendu was unconscious. Nilkant was not conscious at all. I thought that Nilkant was also unconscious. But then I started finding out how are these people, what is happening. So they told me that Nilkant has no life, but Pendu is unconscious. We were then taken to the hospital and we were housed in hospital for many days.
राजपाट सब छोड़ के तुमने धारण बुद्धा रूप किया, शरणागत कर दे सबको तुम, मुक्ति का मार्ग दिखा के फिरे, अंत में खुद ही शरण जा सोए, भोजन में कोई जहर दिया, भोजन में कोई जहर दिया। करुणा प्रेम की मूर्ति होकर ईशा ने सुख सोचेगा था, करुणा प्रेम की मूर्ति होकर ईशा ने सुख सोचेगा था, ना भूलेगा जब ये कभी भी हृदय विदारक ये बलिदान, तू ही खुदा है पर पैगंबर, मारे मारे फिरे मोहम्मद, खुद बहाना उसे जितना गहरा था उतना बलिदान, गहरा था उतना बलिदान। पिछले सब बलिदानों को अपने साथ संजो तब रखा मेहतारों, आज के युग में रावण ही रावण, बैठे धर धर हर एक देश में, आज मांगती धरती तुम्हारी, ऐसा प्रभु तुम्हारा बलिदान, ना देखा होगा और सुनाना, इसके पहले कभी जो जग ने। अपने पिछले अवतारों में जो तुमने बलिदान दिया, दोषी उसका बना कोई तो बदनाम हुआ जग सारा, अब तो वो अवतार दया के दोष किसी पर पड़ने न दोगे, खुद ही तुमने ऊपर अपने दोष लिए अब सारे जग के, खून मिला पश्चिम में पहले, फिर पूरब में भी गिराया, आने वाले युग के तुमने गुनाहों को भी माफ किया, गुनाहों को भी माफ किया। ओ मेरे अवतार, 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 ओ
This is the end of a very, very touching part one. And बाबा ने ये कितनी सुंदर तरीके से कहा है कि मैन अननोइंगली सफर्स फॉर गॉड। हम सब जो पीड़ा भुगतते हैं अपने जीवन काल में, हमें पता नहीं पीड़ा हमें क्यों होती है। मैन अननोइंगली सफर्स फॉर गॉड एंड गॉड नोइंगली सफर्स फॉर मैन। यानी ईश्वर को स्वयं को ये पता है कि उसे इस पीड़ा से गुजर के जाना है। ईश्वर को स्वयं को पता है कि हर अवतार काल में इस युग के हर जीव को आध्यात्मिक रूप से, स्पिरिचुअल रूप से आगे बढ़ाने के लिए उसे अपने शरीर का पूर्ण रूप से बलिदान देना है। ये ईश्वर को पता है पहले से। एंड दैट इज द रीजन वाई अगर आप देखें इस मूवी में तो विष्णु मास्टर ने जो बाबा को देखा, इतने ब्रिलियंट, इतने शाइनिंग मूड में, इतने चेयरफुल मूड में, he saw him as a king having accomplished his mission। जो ईश्वर को, उनको पता था कि उन्हें उनके शरीर को पूरी तरह से टूटना है। And that Baba says, when God knowingly suffers for man, that is his divine sense of humor। His divine sense of humor lies in he knowing that he has to suffer, and in every अवतारिक period, हर अवतार काल में, जैसे आखिर का जो गाना था जो हमारी बॉम्बे सेंटर की टीम ने ही पूरा बनाया था और एनिमेशन के साथ हम लोग ने उसको प्रेजेंट किया था इस फिल्म के अंदर। हर अवतार काल में आप जोरास्टर से लेके राम, कृष्ण, बुद्धा, जीसस, पैगंबर साहब मोहम्मद, हर अवतार काल को आप देखेंगे तो ईश्वर ने आकर ये बलिदान दिया है। इस बलिदान को शब्दों में कहना इस बलिदान की तौहीन होगी। ये शब्दों से परे है। सृष्टि के हर जीव को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए, आध्यात्मिक मार्ग पर आगे बढ़ाने के लिए ईश्वर को अपने शरीर का बलिदान देना पड़ता है। टुकड़ा टुकड़ा होता है शरीर। एंड जैसे मनी आंटी ने बहुत सुंदर कहा था, मैंने कभी एक बार सुना था कि 1956 का ये जो सेकंड एक्सीडेंट हुआ था, उसके बाद दैट वाज द बिगिनिंग ऑफ द एंड एज फार एज बाबाज फिजिकल एडवेंट इज कंसर्न्ड। He has suffered for us. His body has been broken most knowingly in every avtaric call, in every avtaric advent. And may we all never ever forget this supreme sacrifice that the Lord in his love and compassion does for his creation. हम लोग यहीं पर रुकेंगे, धुन और आरती के साथ आज का कार्यक्रम समाप्त करेंगे। अगले रविवार को एक्सीडेंट के बाद जो सारी सीक्वेंस ऑफ इवेंट्स हुई उसके ऊपर ये फिल्म आगे बढ़ेगी। और इस फिल्म के इस एक्सीडेंट के 50वीं वर्षगांठ 2006 में जो हुई थी मेहराबाद में, बहुत बड़ा कार्यक्रम हुआ था। वहां पर हम लोगों ने एक ड्रामा प्रस्तुत किया, डिवाइन सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर करके। समय मिला तो अगले रविवार या तो उसके बाद वो ड्रामा आपके सामने रखेंगे, सो दैट आपको वो बहुत ही डिटेल में व्हाई डज द अवतार सफर, ईश्वर नोइंगली क्यों सफर करता है, उसकी हम सबको जानकारी मिल सके। आज के लिए हम सब बाबा की धुन और आरती के साथ और हृदय से अवतार का धन्यवाद अदा करते हैं कि अवतार ने हमारे लिए इतना कुछ किया है, यहां तक कि अपने प्राणों की आहुति भी दे दी। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
हरि परमात्मा अल्लाह अहुरमस्त God Yazdan Hu Hari Paramatma Allah God Yazdanhu Hari Paramatma Allah Ahuramas God Yazdanhu Ahuramas God Yazdanhu Hari Paramatma Allah Ahuramas God Yazdanhu Hari Paramatma Allah Ahuramas God Yazdanhu Hari Paramatma Allah Ahuramas God Yazdanhu Ahuramas God Yazdanhu Hari Paramatma Allah Ahuramas God Yazdanhu Hari Paramatma Allah Ahuramas God Yazdanhu हुआ लहर से ही है जिसकी सृष्टि का निर्माण उसकी दैवी अनंतता का कैसे हो आदि सचेतन शांति चेतन आदि सचेतन शांति चेतन नमो ब्रह्म आवो मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनावो मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनावो मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनावो चेतन शांति निकेतन आदि चेतन शांति निकेतन नमो ब्रह्म आवो मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनावो मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनावो मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनावो प्रेम दीप में दिए जलावो कुछ तुम्हें चढ़ाऊं, अपना सब कुछ तुम्हें चढ़ाऊं, तुम मुझको सरसाओ मेरा प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ मेरा प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ मेरा प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ। जीवन की सांस हमारी, जीवन की हर सांस हमारी, बन जाए प्रभु गति तुम्हारी, बन जाए प्रभु गति तुम्हारी। हे करुणा कर लीलाधारी, हे करुणा कर लीलाधारी, तुम करुणा बरसाओ मेरे प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ मेरा प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ मेरा प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ। बने आरती जीवन मेरा, बने आरती जीवन मेरा, आदि अंत का दय हो तेरा, आदि अंत का दय हो तेरा। खुले नयन और दिखे सवेरा, खुले नयन और दिखे सवेरा, तुम मुझ में छा जाओ मेरा प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ मेरा प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ मेरा प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ। आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन, आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन, नमो ब्रह्म आओ मेरा प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ मेरा प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ मेरा प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ।
Thank you everybody for joining, and we will meet again next Sunday at 5:30 to see the remaining part of the movie. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai.